3, 2, 1, live.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the North American quarterfinals of the Smite F. The man, how you doing?
I'm on cloud 9 right now. I'm really excited to be here. It's been a while since I've done a community tournament, and I'm freaking thrilled. I also like to make fun of you, so I figured I'd actually cast with you. So
it's okay. We all like to make fun of you too, so it works out for the best of everybody.
I'm not a meme.
Here. No, you're not a meme, but Naja sashes buffs. It's okay. It's all cool. No Naja on this game, so you don't got to worry. We got Synergy taking on Rice Baby. Synergy is the number 7 seed overall in their group. They went 3-1, taking on Rice Baby, the number 1 seed in their group.
You know, I've done a lot of these community tournaments. If you've made it this far, you're something worth talking about. So I'm really excited. I've had a couple of these guys come in the chat and just been kind of talking themselves up. So I want them to see money where their mouths are.
And we're gonna see quite a lot of Chernobog actually made it through the picks in the ban phase here for Synergy as their hunter, and Shibalanke Athena going against them for Rice Baby. This is a pretty powerful lane, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, both of them have a lot of damage potential here, but as far as the push is concerned, I'm looking right at the Chernobog lane. Him and the Gabber are going to be able to push these minions up, and as I say that, looks like Rice are the ones that are pushing this dual lane.
It looks like one of the downsides of Chernobog in this clear is if he aggroes those minions somewhere else. Speaking of aggroing somewhere else, Tachi is going to get first blood for Rice Baby over
the old
Sarah
solo kill. Look at that one. Yeah, I mean, Zeus has that surprising damage, and going for the detonate level 2 instead of the chain lightning means that he saw his opportunity and took it. People forget about Zeus's passive, man. Zeus's passive, where he gets extra damage on his basic attacks once you're charged up, that chews through you in the early game.
And it really just looks like Sarasix tanking too many minions, may have accidentally aggroed by going on Tachi, and Ghost Seeker getting the kill over into the dual lane. We saw how pushed up that wave got early on, and they lost that pressure. And Athena and Shibalanke at level 2, a very dangerous combo.
Yeah, man. I mean, doesn't even have the taunt yet. So Athena just ran into him. Oh, that probably shouldn't have happened. That's a little bit rough, but Athena here. Odin is not going to split that red buff. Rips up Reaper. And a third kill for Rice Baby.
The Reaper of Souls gets his soul ripped right out of him. Huadam on that Odin. Jungle Odin, typically don't see that too often. Usually for the warriors in the jungle, we typically see gods like Raven more than anything, maybe even the Erlong Shen. We talk about guys like Sino, but so far, Huadam making...
Jungle Odin is a very specific pick. It has a ton of damage and presence early game, and then is a ring bot in the later stages. So Odin brings a lot of this high-end early game pressure comparable to the Wheelish, but the difference is that he just kind of falls off late game, but has the ring. So I don't like him in all the compositions, JMac, but when you've got a Zeus to sort of hand the ball off to later, Odin sets you up early, puts people down, and then Zeus comes through and goes, word, I'm ready to fight.
I mean, it's season 0 all over again. You pick Odin Zeus, you just dive the mid lane, and it's against an Agni too. We are straight back in season 0 here with this composition matchup here, and no Phantom picked up by Synergy either. This is going to be a very long early game going against this Odin.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit rough. And I mean, one of my favorite things about Odin Zeus, and why I actually really love Jungle Odin Zeus, is because as soon as Odin starts to feel like his damage is less impactful, because these early moments, watch him on the Thanatos if he catches up. He's going to turn his mind invade. But his damage is incredible. He like brings you down to 50%. As soon as you start to feel that like wane off, that's when Zeus turns on, and you can just ring, storm, kill over and over again. I love this combo.
And that's also the time when the Odin can start building a little bit tankier as opposed to going for more burst. Yeah, like you said, as that damage starts falling off, usually it's around that level 12, 13 is where Odin has pretty much peaked his actual damage charts, and that's where he's going to really start tapering off. And like you said, being that ring bot in the late game for him. And over here into the dual lane, trying to get something onto this Geb. The dash in, taunt onto Magic, and he's going to fall down, just trying to run away from the team. But Huadam going to throw in the last basic, and that'll drop him down. 4 kills now for Rice Baby.
Yeah, interesting. Huadam actually getting the second kill. Rice Baby had the choice to give that kill to anybody they wanted, and they gave it to the jungle Odin, which is really important. He's got 2 kills, but he's behind because he's been assisting this duo lane. But his dual lane is ahead for it. So that's all well and good, even though he's behind. And giving him that kill is sort of a lane tax because he's really impacted the left side really nicely.
Really risky play by Tachi there. Kind of going one-on-one. It's a little bit riskier for Reaper Souls being on the wrong side of the map, but Tachi trying to 1v1 against him early on kind of goes a little more in favor of the Thanatos if that Death Scythe connects. It did, but now Reaper Souls in the middle of 2. Luckily, he's level 5. He's on to Tachi right now. The bird bomb into the cage going to be dropped down and nowhere for him to go, but Reaper's going to turn it around, get one of his own before he surely falls here, gets stunned out by the Darkest of Nights. He's still going, and finally, Huadam gonna be able to get the last in-hand needed, but held himself out for too long.
Team! I don't know if Wackee had his cooldowns there, but if he did, I'm yelling at him if I'm Reaper. That was a sound.
It's been built up by the Athena. Shivalanke is really starting to roll forward. The sprint 2 popped just to get Ghost Seekers forward for the quick double kill. Level 7 Shivalanke. It's only 6 minutes in.
Yeah, and this is really, really scary because if we take a look at player damage done, he's at 4,000. So he's just stacking that passive way too quickly. And Snowball is largely something that we don't really mention anymore because honestly, well, it's a MOBA. It's going to have Snowball, but it has been mitigated a little bit. Yeah, Shivalanke is a Snowball character, and Homie's just going to be pelting snowballs across the way.
Well, 8-1 reads the scoreboard for Rice Baby. 3 of those kills, each onto the jungler and the carry form. The Devourer's Gauntlet's already finished up for Ghost Seekers. And like you mentioned, with 4,000 player damage early on, he's only 500 from getting that 3rd stack of his passive. Blinking into the mid lane by Huadam, and the storm is dropped down. But Sarah 6, no Phantom, nowhere to go, and the bird bomb will finish him off.
Yeah, this is exactly what this composition is built to do. To be fair, it's kind of what Synergy's built to do as well, but Reaper getting beat up early really hurt him, and his build really hurt him. And his build, I'm going to touch upon because he just doesn't have the cooldown reduction to be able to be abusing his ultimate. That's what you want to do in these early moments on the Thanatos. Is his base stats are ridiculous. He's got 4 points in Death Sight. That does 310 damage plus your max HP, and you're hitting them with the ult as well. 1,000 gold lead at 7 minutes. Relative gold. It's really, really big right now.
I mean, going on top, you're talking about, 300 base damage that comes off of the Death Scythe alone. When you look at Raven Shout, the shield health is what is the big detonation for it, and it gets a bonus if it's at full when he uses that bird bomb. Those 2 abilities are going to swing much harder than the Death Scythe early on, and just because Reaper hasn't really been in the action as much.
Nice.
I thought, though, Toxic Tempest getting that 1-2 combo, and up into the sky he goes, waiting for a place to land back down. The Magic's going to take a spill.
Double taunt coming out from Rice Baby support. There's the exit from the Agni on the right-hand side. But Tachi, too hot to see. Reaper Souls gets taken out by the Trucker. And the mid lane Zeus winds up with another kill. 2-1-4. He's level 9 already.
11 kills on the board for Rice Baby. They're really going big. And Sarah 6, he's going to take another spill. Tachi not stopping another one on his kill count. 3-1-4. Call this man the Pie God.
I love what Tachi's doing right now. That was a good one, by the way. Just takes his lead and runs with it. Just goes right for the invade. Does not slow down. That's what you got to do. You got to play this lead. And listen, everything's coming up Millhouse for Rice Baby, but I want to touch on Sarah6, or the Agni player here. I understand this is a much different world than what a lot of people are used to seeing, and there is sort of like a skill gap, but it's less about hitting your ability. I saw him miss some bombs, but that's whatever. I want to see him be more aggressive, JMac. His team went in there, and that was a winnable fight as an Agni with long range. Before the first engagement, I thought maybe it was a cooldown thing, but he was pretty timid there again, and you need your Agni. If you're going to first pick Agni especially, you need this guy to be making the plays.
And it just feels like he's very quick on the trigger with his abilities in the lane and to get away, but not really saving those cooldowns. He also hasn't started with in here, Magic's taking a lot of poke, taunted back in, and Hachi. Level 10, too much damage. That Book of Thoth and the Pen Boots finish up. That's going to shred through what very little protections this Geb has early on.
Hey, man. His name is Magic. Somebody made him disappear. Kind of fitting there. But the 10-minute Gold Fury here. Look at this strat.
Love this. Oh, no. Toxic shows up. That's going to be a quick one. You're going to be able to stop the Gold Fury, but Toxic not going to be able to get that second kill that he wants.
That's a classic. Rice Baby just getting a little bit too ahead of themselves, trying to snake that one around. Really important punish from Toxic Tempest, by the way. He definitely could have just kind of let that one go. Level 9 stepping up to the level 10 Shibby was kind of rough, but I think he made the right plan. That was a good job.
This is a fight that needs to happen for Synergy. Darkest of Nights popped. Going up into the sky is Reapers looking for a target. Huadam is low, but he's not going to go on to him. Sarah6 and Magic's just sitting on the backside here. It just looked like as soon as that Athena ult came through, the entire team of Synergy didn't want to go through, but now Rice getting aggressive back onto Magic's.
Oh, big plays there coming out from the Zeus one more time. Jumping in, ringed up 3. Huadam in trouble, actually, able to slow down good enough. Here comes Zeus one more time. Chain lightning in the detonate. Not enough to bring down Thanatos, but definitely left a mark. Forces to disengage. Rice Baby still up about 4,000 gold after that one. Huadam barely getting out.
I mean, this is the downside of not having that Phantom. They could have chased down and got that kill onto Huadam if they had the Phantom, but it's a shell and a sprint too over onto the side for Synergy. They have no way for, it looks like, any of them aside from Haudgen to actually get out of that cage until somebody hits level 12. Obviously, Reapers has to use his ultimate to get out of it.
Oh, here comes the Gold Fury.
But the Gold Fury goes Rice Baby's way. Haudgen not able to get that one out. The detonate doing so much damage. And Ghost Seekers, the rage form just barely saves Haudgen.
Meanwhile, Toxic Tempest is able to take out one. Reapers up top takes out the other. Big stun from the Agni player. That's what I want to see. The rotation, UTAC's going to get out of here, but they have to kill this Shibalanke. He's level 11, but he's going to sneak on out.
Going to keep going.
Nice right.
Right there. Huadam sitting onto the back line there, but Reapers, he's going to find one over at the mid camp. Huadam jumping right down on top of the Geb shield. A little late as far as damage reduction onto it, but Reapers will get to this guy and get out. And those are the fights that Synergy needs to get those quick picks out, especially onto a player like Ghost Seekers, who's been pretty much left unchecked this entire game. And I love this objective focus. We may have lost the Gold Fury, but we're going to get the Pyromancer and that kill along with it.
Yeah, they absolutely understand the fundamentals. As soon as you get your team fighting your direction, go for the objective. Pyromancer, the consolation prize of season 5, but still does tip the scales a little bit. This was just a 4,000 gold game, and well, it's a 3,500 gold game, but still, this is the way you chip away at a lead. And more importantly, I mean, this is a lot of it. This is about momentum, and Synergy certainly took the wind out of the sails of Rice Baby right there.
I want to see more fights like that from Synergy. Sarah6 had a beautiful 2-man bomb stun over the wall, keeping himself out of the fight, but still able to be effective in the fight. So that's the benefit of the Agni, is the long-range stun that can be set up with the bomb or using that flame wave and dropping Noxious Fumes along with it because of how long it persists after. There's a lot of ways that he could set up and help his team, but so far he's only been looking for the damage, and unfortunate for him, Huadam's in the ring. Gonna drop him down. Tachi getting one more. 6, 2, and 4 now for the mid lane Zeus.
Rough play there from the Agni, trying to dash on out of the ring. Here comes the back around from Ghost Seeker, though. Nice taunt. There's the tier 1 tower going down. When it rains, it pours. Ghost Seeker gets one. The jungler gets the other. And Rice Baby take another bite.
You got to be careful. You're running up into 5 people. I understand. You're a level 12 Kukul, and you think you're the king of the world here. But half this team is higher level than you right now. More than half of this team. 4 out of 5 players. He's going to get taunted back in. Howden not going to be able to get away from that one. Ghost Seekers getting him with the Rising Jaguar. 19 kills now for Rice Baby.
Oh, man. So that's a prime example of, it's actually really funny because I'm going to contradict myself. Watch me go. So that's really rough, but that's something that you will understand and you'll learn from experience is identifying when you just relinquish the objective. That tier 2 tower, it's always tempting to try to defend the tier 2 tower, especially when you have a beautiful knock-up situation like that, like Howden did. But he winds up walking 1 into 5 and just dies too soon and doesn't actually help anything. The hunter is still wailing on the tower. If he controls the hunter during that, then he sort of bought time. He doesn't do that. He just kind of gives his life up. Now, here's where I contradict myself. Agni had the opportunity after the fact. So Howden made the wrong choice and damaged a lot of players, and this tower did as well. But now they're all low because Howden made the wrong choice. It's up to Sarasix to get in there and make the follow-up right choice off of the wrong choice and clean up, but he didn't do that.
The problem that we're looking at here is Sarasix is the second least farm player in the game, only 400 gold above his support. You're looking at everybody on the enemy team. Their lowest is 1,000 gold ahead of him, and his opponent in the mid lane, 2,500 gold. And you can see it in the item disparity. It's only a Bancross Talon and a Pen Boots online for Sarasix versus a Book of Thoth, Boots, and a Chronos Pennant for Tachi.
And that's part of... it's like circular. This is sort of a cause and effect scenario where, yeah, he's behind, so maybe he shouldn't go in, but he's behind because he's not going in. And that's the beauty of Agni. You don't have to go in to still make the impact. Reaper Soul's feeling the impact there. So is Magic. Double kill for the Zeus.
Rest in peace. Again, the Phantom now online for the team, but it's on Howden this time. The support quite a long ways away from that level 12 mark, and this is kind of the benefit of the Odin is because that ring is not only on such a short cooldown, he's built 30% cooldown reduction, and he went with the blink. So he doesn't have to use his bird bomb to initiate. He can save that for the damage when they're trapped in the ring and have nowhere to go.
Yeah, he's just so far ahead. He's going to continue doing it. Rice Baby, what is this, 8,000 gold lead? And they can do whatever the hell they want. They're going to pull the Fire Giant right here. And this is, I wish you would, Synergy. They're sitting here saying, please fight us. If you do, we kill you. Easy. Synergy should be hitting the Gold Fury right now. Chernobog has the right idea. Toxic, Tempest could use a teammate because now Rice Baby should just rotate left.
All right, well, Magic's going to come over here. He's going to drop the Geb Shield on top of him just to give him that a little bit of extra. They will be able to get this Gold Fury, but they're going to lose quite a bit in return for this. The Fire Giant, Tier 1 and solo lane is going to drop. Very likely Tier 2 as well as 4 members push forward onto this. And Tachi pushing up the mid lane, maybe trying to get set up for a siege after these towers.
That's certainly the game plan. Tower's going to go down. And Zeus is just playing... He's just playing copper. Whoever shows up and gets too close is just going to get smoked out. Watch this.
So is Tachi the good cop or the bad cop in this situation?
I guess it depends on which side you're rooting for, honestly.
Well, Reapers took about half of his health just from 2 abilities from Tachi. But you're going to be able to heal up with that Dead Side, kind of the power of Thanatos. It's that extra bit of HP he gets. Vivistar going to get 2 people on that taunt. The Storm dropped right on top of Reapers of Souls. That's all 3 stacks of Chain Lightning. And Reaper sent back to the grave to the fountain for 37 more seconds. The cage has Magic strapped inside, but he's going to live through it for the time. Howden not going to find that ultimate. Magic's, he's all turned around, knocked up by Utax, and dropped by Vivistar.
Howden in some trouble, left to play defense, just 3 players. JMac, I think this could be it.
18.5 minutes is a very quick matchup here for Rice. There's still 3 people. Big bomb stun from Sarasix. Titan not really taking a lot of damage. Howden trying to hold this one off into the rage form. Darks and Knights will stun him out. But the team of Rice Baby is still very healthy.
Yeah, they got to go back and do this mid-Phoenix. Rice Baby are ahead by 11,000 gold, but they're still only level 16. They have a huge lead, but against the players, it's different.
They might get something out of this.
And Reaper falls down. Viverstar looking good.
They need something out of this. Sarah6 moved forward. He was in perfect range and perfect position to get some big bomb stun setups there, but Reapers went in just a little too early without the assist there. That's going to make it 25 kills. The right side Phoenix, all in favor of Rice Baby.
Yeah, I mean, that was... So, I mean, I guess I don't really hate them going for it, especially understanding that these players are less experienced, right? Just a huge lead, go for it. Luckily, they didn't lose anything because they were that far ahead. But when you go for that sort of premature initiation, you want to make sure that you can kind of escape. So if their lead is, let's say, like 7,000 gold, a little bit more reasonable, and they go for the premature Titan rush, as soon as somebody starts dying, they have to just get the hell out of there. They kind of lingered, and you will learn with time that sort of like, how much damage are we doing? Damage recognition is what I call it. You'll learn with time your damage recognition and your ability to like evaluate, is this something we can do, or are we just beating our head against the wall? So Rice Baby going for it. I don't mind that. They'll learn with experience, and now they'll look for another bird and try to find the Titan after the fact.
Yeah, I think in that instance, they were just like, hey, we're on a high right now. There's two of them down. Everybody else is low, pushed back in the fountain. Let's just go for it. And if Synergy was, I'd say even maybe just a few thousand gold further ahead, if Sarah6 was on par with Tachi, at least item-wise, or even level-wise at that point, that might have been a completely different fight for Synergy. Oh, Tempest. This is not where you want to be. He's inside the wall. The Geb Shield outlasted by the charges, and Tachi picks up his 11th kill of the game.
I mean, 11 to an 8 for the Zeus, who's probably top damage. Where are you? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, he
23,000.
9,000 ahead.
Yeah, that's just what Zeus does. Like,
and remember, Ghost Seekers was the top at the beginning at 4,000, like almost 3,000 ahead of everybody else. Tachi is just going off in this mid-late game.
Yeah, I mean, what Ghost Seeker is able to do, sure, yell at me about darts and Jaguar, but he's a hunter. He's a single target character. Whereas Zeus is going to drop the chain lightning, he's going to drop the storm, he's going to drop the frisbee, and just drop bodies.
Well, blink in from Hadyum, going up into the air. Reaper Souls, the storm is dropped down. Two stuck inside of the cage. There's nowhere for them to go. Tachi's going to grab Magix, and Haugen, he's going to sit in the back, just trying to stay alive. The Phoenix down to about half HP. The Warcry used only onto Utax. But Tachi's going to grab Haugen. He's going to be sent back to the fountain. That's two of them sitting AFK for a while.
The bait right there. Huadam comes up and just goes, yo, what's good, man? You can kill me.
Well, you can't kill him.
Reaper. Well, yeah, the problem is, what's the repercussion for that one, buddy?
The repercussion. I'm not sure if you did that intentionally. They might be able to get Tachi here. He's taking quite a bit. The Phoenix has respawned, but it's on to the minions. Tempest trying to get those last hits in. Goes up into the sky. This might not be good for him now because everybody is surrounding him. Sarah6 is here for a bomb stun onto Bavera Star, but Reaper Souls, he's pushing forward. He is moving really fast with that regrowth on him.
Yeah, what I'm going to need here is that was a cute try from Rice Baby trying to get the Okie Doke. Tachi.
Oh, he got him. He actually got him.
Oh, boy, what a play. That was kind of a lazy back, but we'll give it to him. Reaper shows up 5-7-0.
Yeah, I mean, you're lazy back in on the enemy side of the map at their blue buff, and there's a Thanatos there. You know, that sounds like the perfect play to me.
So what I really need... Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Rice Baby needs to just refocus right now. This is prime example. I say this from time to time. I say you got to play your lead, but you can't let your lead play you. Rice Baby, you have a gazillion gold. We get that. And you got to kind of leverage that. You got to take fights that seem silly. But now they're kind of just being like taken advantage of by their egos. Yeah, they're just being silly. So Rice Baby just needs to like mentally pause and go, okay, what's going on? Group up, fire, kill 3 Phoenixes, and kill the Titan. That's how you play Smite. We know that, and they can clean this one up a little bit. But the longer they wait, the worse it gets, because more items are going the way of Synergy, just like that.
Sarah 6, we all know, we've talked about how great Agni can be from that long range. Darkest of Nights used kind of oddly there. I'm not sure exactly why that ultimately
They saw Magic. They're looking
Magic's
for the
here
pick off.
trying to get into this Fire Giant pit, but he's just shoved against the wall. Utax unrelenting onto it, but Izageb will be able to get away. The Kappa thrown out, but the Kappa way too far away for that one. Fire Giant started back up for Rice Baby, and I don't see this going anywhere except for on Rice.
Yeah. I know these are less experienced players, but if Huadam dies to the Fire Giant, I'm still going to make fun of him.
Oh, you always do. I mean, that's how it always goes through. No matter what, it's especially evident. Okay, he's taking the Fire Giant burn damage coming up from the sky. The Raven shield dropped down. Reapers will be able to pick him up, but Rice will get the Fire Giant. They'll trade out one for it. Huadam just a little too much.
Oh,
Reaper Soul is now
Reaper!
on to Ghostsinger. He's going to get the double kill.
Surprise, Mama Jamma. The Thanatos blinks in, gets the kill. Now taunted out. Trouble, though. Nice knockup coming out from the solo lane. Toxic Tempest going to show up, get the double root, but here comes Tachi, man. Magic is going to get a nice stun, setting up his mid laner for the escape. The Athena falls down, and it looks like Kuzenbo could suffer the same fate.
It's still
Tachi put out some damage there, but wasn't able to finish him off enough.
Well, it's going to be a 3-for-1, but the minions are starting to flood into the right side of that Titan room. Somebody on Synergy needs to go back to base to stop them, but nobody is. They're all pushing forward into mid. A whole new wave is going to the Titan. I don't know if they recognize this. Nobody's backing off. Titan's sitting at about half HP with
Chernobog.
7 minions fighting against it. Chernobog finally going back to base, but Tachi's going to grab Magics in the process. A lot of poke damage thrown onto the Titan, and now Synergy has to be incredibly efficient on this defense.
That's another thing that you get through experience is just being aware of how much damage your Titan can take. Look, if you're pushing, you can trade a fire minion wave on your Titan if you're pushing their Phoenix, right? I don't even care if it's going to combat the Phoenix that they've already gotten. Like, yeah, that's a play you make. Tier 2 tower, 2 waves? Nah, bruh.
No.
Rice Baby had trouble here, and I think they're going to clean it up.
Yeah, they're going for the Phoenix here. Howden jumping in, going to get taunted back by the Veristar, and Tachi just pushing forward. They're just looking for the Titan. It's already well under half HP. The Storm drops down, and that's a quick finish off for Rice Baby. 26 minutes, 30 kills for the Rice Baby, and that'll be game 1 in this best of 3.
Man, 14 kills in total for the Z-Man. Player damage 35-6. Second place, under 20,000. Just out of control there coming out from Zeus. Zeus and Odin won this game for Rice Baby. Hands down, period. See you later. Next game. Like,
I mean, Tachi brought the Zeus juice that game. 14 kills of his own of the 30. He was almost half of his team's kills, and it was part of 23 out of the 30. That's a big statement coming from the mid lane.
yeah, I mean, that's that's definitely something a little bit scary. I do want to give a shout out on the other side to Reaper Souls, though. Reaper Souls, 7-7-1. Now, some of those kills that he has were kind of just like silly, blink in, get a guy and die. But he did have some of the more impactful plays as well that his team had, which was good because he didn't do anything in the early game. And so that kind of held him back. I would like to see him and Sarah 6 get a little bit more active. I mentioned Agni being a little bit, kind of timid, let's say. I need to see more aggression. I will say, on the big stage, that's a big part of this game that we haven't really touched on, JMac. I mean, these guys are playing on stream for, this is not their regular due. You're not Benji. This is kind of new to you guys.
Well, you in the chat have the option to vote on who you think was the MVP of this game. I don't know about you, F-Up, but right now my mind's looking over here at Tachi, one of the big damage dealers. I think he had more damage than... No, he didn't have more damage than all of his team because Ghost Seekers had 19,000. But for me, I'm looking at Tachi for MVP of this game. I mean, this guy was insane all game long. Massive storm drops, and Huadam doing a great job setting him up here, too.
Yeah, I'm glad that we aren't going to be the behind-the-scenes guys putting this one together because I'd give it to Huadam there. I mean, without his early game prowess, Zeus just gets eaten up a little bit. I mean, you can make the argument that maybe he's able to take advantage of Agni anyway because he did get that solo kill early on in the game. But Huadam coming through and just, like, being this early Odin guy. And I love the way he went his build as well. He went boots, got a couple of kills, and there's a decision, there's a gear shift that you have to make as an Odin player. And if you're early game, you're getting fed, you abuse your base damage, you go offensive items. Jotun's Wrath does buy the mantle just to make sure he's not being stupid, but just continues going Titans and Shifters. I really liked what Wadham brought out here.
I really do like that shifter shield too, because as you mentioned it, because they're so far ahead and because he was able to abuse his early lead, he can afford to have that extra bit of damage that shifters provides. But when the times got a little tough for him, he's going to have that defensive option with it as well when he does drop under half HP.
70 power. 70 power. That is the most power on an item you can get in the physical column, like without talking about passive. Shouts to you, Transcendent. Like that is a very, very big amount of power. And Odin, recognizing his lead, was able to play into it. I really like that.
Well, we have gotten word on the MVP, and it's actually Utax, the Kuzenbo, 2-0 and 5. I think chat's just a bunch of memers onto this one. He did play very well for himself in the later stage of the game. Really kind of did keep Howdigan locked in the lane. And it's one thing we really didn't mention either of these two players all too much throughout the early portion of the game. It wasn't until the very end that we really started talking about Utax. Howdigan kind of in that mid-game presence there. But we were informed that the second runner-up for that one was Tachi. So we're going to give it to Utax because that's what the audience voted. But I think both you and I are kind of in agreement here with Tachi and Wadham kind of being the big two.
I'm a man of the people. Let's go, Utax.
He's got the Kuzenbo. Give him a gun.
Whatever the fans vote for, I'm with it. Let's go, Utax. Rocking it hard.
Well, we're going to go ahead and cut it to a quick break. When we come back, game number 2 of the quarterfinal matchup between Synergy and Rice Rice will continue. Grab some popcorn, go to the bathroom. We'll be back very shortly. Everybody, and welcome back to game number 2 of the quarterfinals best of 3 matchup. Synergy taking on Rice Rice, baby. L2s. I was corrected that it was L2s included into their name here. Rice Rice got the big win. Game number 1, 26 minutes. It only took them to take down the tie. See if Synergy can hold out a little longer this time.
Yeah, Wadham and Tachi, game number 1, just tore it up. It was an Odin, it was a Zeus. Early game, Odin just Goomba stomped everybody. Late game, Zeus made it rain, and it was very, very simple. Now on the Agni and the Susano can get off and run, but it'll be very different. Agni, not quite the hyper carry that Zeus was.
It's kind of like they swapped roles a little bit, where Zeus for overtime, big bam, and Odin was the big shot right at once. Now it's kind of taking the pot shots, couple boom, and then Tachi's like, here's a couple of bombs coming through. So they kind of have a very slight role reversal, but they're a little bit more long with touch.
A little bit different. It's just going to be a more technical game coming out from Rice Baby. The level of execution is certainly higher.
I mean, that was just, like, let's be honest, that was just Cerberus barking. No matter which part of the lane you're actually looking at, that was just Cerberus barking 2 of his 3 heads going off onto that one.
So a big change from Saros here. Playing on the Soul, a god that we don't really see all the time in the middle lane, but a ton of pressure. And so I like this change. Last time around on the Agni, who, I mean, not exactly a pressure slouch, but going to have more of it on the Soul, and I want to see what he does with the turnaround here. It's just going to be a more technical game coming out from Rice Baby. The level of execution is certainly higher.
I mean, that was just, like, let's be honest, that was just Cerberus barking. No matter which part of the lane you're actually looking at, that was just Cerberus barking 2 of his 3 heads going off onto that one.
So a big change from Saros here. Playing on the Soul, a god that we don't really see all the time in the middle lane, but a ton of pressure. And so I like this change. Last time around on the Agni, who, I mean, not exactly a pressure slouch, but gonna on the Soul left side. And you go to the left side for 2 reasons. One, if you're playing a character that does well with the level 2 gank, and you're looking to gank the dual lane, or you're trying to relieve pressure in the dual lane, or you're trying to secure that red. So Saros here, with all that pressure that I was talking about, well, could wind up with the red if they don't secure it. Side, it's the solo kill.
Haugen gets pushed into the tower by Utax. Kind of both of these gods having a similar role in that instance of, it's just who gets the better push early on. And for Utax, every minion that he pushes somebody through is going to deal more damage, and just got him too far under the tax. Picking up the solo kill early on here for Rice.
Yeah, and very important as well. The Kuzenbo certainly has to pick up there, and the Hercules is going to be a hard task for him, so should be tough. Left side, though, trouble for Magic. Big shell. Because of that, the Cerberus won't be able to get the kill, but Magic right there. Nice, clean.
Oh, we're going to go ahead, cut it to a very quick break for the moment being, get a couple of things sorted out onto the, so stick around. We'll be back in just a short minute.
You won your life.
And we're back in with that. Sorry about that. Back into the game here. 3 minutes and 12 seconds into the game. 1 kill over for Rice Baby. And now 1 kill over for Synergy. With the gank over on to the solo side. Jungler gonna fall down.
Team number 1, Rice Baby, had, I think, 4 or 5 unanswered kills before Synergy was able to really step up. So nice stuff coming out from the blue squad here to turn things around from game number 1.
Well, Haugen gonna go ahead, meet up with his jungler, pick up that blue buff while the Kappa, all the while just chasing him, kind of just tapping him in the back there. Takes a little bit of poke. And kind of the downside of the Hercules is he really does need that mana buff early on in the game to keep himself relevant in that lane. He burns through a lot of it very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, these characters definitely not one that you're able to sit there and kind of chain cast. Both trouble mid lane. Nice gank.
Harpy camp on that right side of the map, and Like you said, it's a little bit of a different pacing where last time it was, I think, even upwards to maybe 6 or 7 kills before there was an answered 1-over for Synergy. Now only 2-1. The game rolling a much slower pace this time around.
Yeah, I mean, this is sort of to be expected, I think, with the different junglers. Ratatasker is going to be able to do it now that he hits level 5, but Odin and Thanatos, much more early game, much more quickly paced.
Yeah, I mean, those are gods that want to be in your face at all times, trying to hit you as many times as possible. Whether they kill you or not, they want to cripple you out and send you back to base, keep you as far down as possible. Magic's going to dash in onto 2, but it's level 3 versus 2 level 5s, and going to take a little bit of poke back from Viveristar, the Ghastly Breath. Just going to try and clear out the minions. They're surprised they didn't get more aggressive onto Magix, have that ultimate, throw him into the tower or something, but now Huadam on rotation.
Yeah, Huadam looking over here, but the call is already to fall backwards. You can see good vision coming out from Synergy, the classic 2-ward spot up north and down south, the 2 entrances into the jungle. But mid lane, there comes a jump from the Ratatasker, looking for Tachi.
Quick beads by Tachi, almost a preemptive beat. Sarasix, he's going to get yanked back. The Supernova down onto him. Huadam needs a few more in-hands. Off the tree, though, comes the Ratatasker. But a quick teleport out from Huadam will get himself out of danger. No blood spilled, but a lot thrown out.
Yeah, that was an interesting thought process from Reaper. We'll break it down in a moment because it looks like Rice going to contest these right sides now. So Reaper could have gone aggressive with his dash down, but I actually liked his plan to land on top of teammate Saros 9. But he's in trouble here again. Nice pull from Huadam. Disapparate will help him out there. But so by choosing to land on top of his own mid laner, he if somebody did decide to jump on the soul, they'd get knocked up and likely killed. So the safe play coming out from Reaper, I like it.
And Huadam holding his ult there, knowing that because there's a potential for me not to be able to get this kill, whether I go in or not, holding that for the next potential gank because the beads are still down onto Sarah 6 on the duo lane. Viveristar going to pick up Magix, but nothing really going to come of it. Just an ultimate drops and Magix is going to be fine.
Yeah, just a little bit of the ultimate spend. You can see the Cerberus having that one down, a big deal. Magic also using his ultimate for the damage reduction. But another invade on the right-hand side from Synergy ensures that Kuzunbo will again not have the blue buff. Rough stuff. Rat's going for the speed.
See if he can get it here. They're battling it out. Huadam does have his ultimate. Reapers doesn't have his. He's going to need to be careful. He's not going to get that one out, but a big stun. Huadam going to charge up that Typhoon. Is it going to be enough to hold him in place? The ball not going to get it. Huadam going to be able to drop down a Reaper Souls thanks to the help of Tachi.
Oh, man, that was no part of me faults Reaper for making that play. I like the call. I like the decision. Maybe he should have gotten out of there with the ultimate as soon as he saw what was happening. But really big shout outs to Tachi for the positioning, who's going to go aggressive here into Saro 9.
Well, Saro's going to have that disapparate to help him out. The Supernova used. A couple of ticks are going to hit Tachi, but not enough to kill him off there. So Saros, he's going to be alive at the time as well as Tachi. And use that heal on his Radiance to get himself back up with Huadam. Blink in, quick beads. Both of these mid laners very quick to stop that CC with their beads.
Yeah, that's really good reaction speed coming out from these guys. Left side, Synergy thinking about the oracles. They're not even up yet.
Oh, the boulder actually in the mid lane from Haugen is not going to find Tachi. He's instead going to go onto the opposite side of the map, trying to find a way out. And nobody really chasing him down. Here comes Reaper Souls off the tree onto Huadam. Huadam's just going to use his mobility to get himself out, throwing out the jet stream as a potential bait. But now both these players on the run. Blink over from Reapers, dash through, dash from Tachi, and the turnaround on the Reapers. The bait, so good from Tachi.
So we don't know. We're not in comms, but that is one of two issues. Huadam looking to force the issue. Magic slowed up. Here's the Horseman. Taken down by Huadam. Great kill. 3 kills. Went out of death for the jungler. 3-1-1. For the jungler. 3-1-1. We can feel his energy, whatever color it is.
Toxic Tempest also expending their ultimate in that fight. Maybe a little scared that the fight is going to turn onto him. And let's not forget to mention that Huadam hasn't expended his ult during these last couple of fights. He used it at that speed buff, but there he didn't need it. And I feel that if Toxic Tempest didn't ult there, that would have been an instant call from Huadam of let's try and get this ultimate forced out there. So Toxic keeping himself alive for the time, and now utilizing the power of Jingwei, going to get right back to the lane, not miss out on too much farm.
So Reaper there made the decision to go aggressive over by the enemy purple. Now, last time when he went aggressive by the speed, I commended him despite the fact that he actually did wind up dying. Now here is interesting. I started talking about it. We don't know, I'm not in comms, but essentially his dual lane was at the southern entrance of the lane itself. They could not react to rotate to the rat in time, but they definitely knew that people were going there. If they called that was happening, rat should have backed out. Don't know what happened there, but communication breakdown, someone made the wrong choice.
Veristar going to pick up Magix and throw him back, but again, no follow-up from it, just burning that ultimate onto the Cerberus. But now Quantum is here one more time. He's going to yank Magix back, throwing out the jet stream, teleporting in, using his first ability, getting a little bit more poke on a Magix, trying to chase him down, has that speed buff, has the ability to do so, but Toxic Tempest trying to stop him if possible, but the jet stream, just too much damage, and now Toxic has nowhere to go. The beads burn through, and the bomb over the top. Tachi with a second one of his own.
Synergy just seems to be a step behind. Love the choice to go to Pyromancer, though. Again, the relinquish of the objective, all well and good. I would like to see someone pay attention to this gold, but they realized that they lost something, and I think they decided that I think they gave up the gold on purpose and went for the Pyro. Like the thought process, but I don't know if I like the decision.
Oh, I like the turnaround there. Quantum's going to pull him back into the bomb. They're going to trade out 2 for 1. Quantum had a hot play there, if you guys weren't able to catch that. Knew that Reaper's Souls was coming onto the tree. Reaper sees the ult charged up from Quantum, says, I'm not going to go onto that. Turns down towards the red. Quantum whips his camera around, knocks up Saros 9. Reapers gets pulled back into the bomb that was dropped from Tachi for 2 for 1 trade onto that one for the Gold Fury. Great play coming out of Rice Baby.
Just excellent stuff. They're understanding how to play as a team a little bit better than Synergy.
Go Seekers now kind of holding the lane here, just going for last hits onto the minions. If even that, just looking to freeze the wave, but his opponent's going to show up, so the whole fun of freezing the wave is now gone and just going to go right back to the post game.
Oh, Tachi. He has the beads, so he is going to get away with this. No, he won't. You don't dash aggressively, homie. Tachi, sit down. Reaper puts double digits, puts number 3 up. Rice Baby answering back.
Synergy may be a little scared of what Quantum was able to possibly do there, and they pop a shell preemptively, thinking that he was going to go back in, but now the tower is open. The Supernova dropped, and Saros, he's going to be able to drop down Quantum all on his own. Didn't even need Howden or Magix to help him out onto that. This is the kind of play we wanted to see from him last game.
Oh, but they're coming from behind. Rice Baby. Utax looking for the mid laner. Now here comes the duo lane. Howden gets tossed up, and Magic could be in trouble, but he won't. The knockup is good. Reaper's focuses on the right-hand side. Down goes Ghost Seeker. Magic just back out of here. There he is. Good call. That's how Synergy need to answer back. Tie game.
Able to get another one, not losing anybody on their team. That's the important part. And all the while, look at Toxic Tempest. He's split pushing into the dual lane. Teleport forced out of Utax to come and stop Toxic from continuing this split push. Toxic recognizes this. He's just going to go back. The Kappa thrown out. Bounce off the wall, but not going to be much beyond to that. Toxic might want to be careful here. He is a full HP Kuzumbo versus half. Going to recognize it and use that Persistent Gust. Get himself back to safety.
Looking at itemization here, I think it's interesting that we see the two hunters go different thought processes. Ghost Seeker opting to rush the Devo gloves, which is always my preferred play. I think getting those stacks on there are very important. But Jingwei went into the boots first before finishing off the Devo gloves. Now, I don't think that there's a right or wrong answer here. It's all contextual, and I prefer the Devo gloves first. But I will say, on a character like Jingwei, with the passive that she has, I don't think that you necessarily need to go the movement speed first, but I'll take that back because how often this dual lane has been ganked, I think the boots first was probably the better choice. I talked myself into it, JMac. I think Toxic made the right choice there.
It's just how it happens, but also to be noted that Toxic does have a few ways to escape danger, does have the Persistent Gust and agility after to dash away, has the ultimate, has purification beads, but now Howden all the way on this left side of the map, taking a little bit of poke here from a Veristar. Good paralyzing spit. Just going to deal a little bit of damage back to him. That's really going to be the end of that one. Now, Synergy looking to maybe try and pick a fight over here by this Gold Fury. Hasn't respawned yet. Instead, they're just going to look towards the Oracles.
Oh, missed stun coming out from Tachi. Athena in a bad spot, but somehow not getting punished for it because down south her teammate doing work. Quantum gonna get jumped on. Goomba Stomp from Reaper Souls. Great. What a strong play by the Ratatasker. Well, his team gets handled and Tachi gets caught.
Well, Hodgkin was alive for the time being, but Tachi comes right back in like a freight train, dropping him down. Seranon taking a lot of damage, trying to trade out here with Tachi. Tachi's gonna be dashed on. Seranon's gonna get him. Toxic Tempest gonna drop the Veristar into the back. It's for 3 trade here for Synergy. They're continuing. Ghost Seeker's nowhere to go. Double kill for Toxic.
Yeah, that was a smooth play by Toxic. Ghost Seeker, I think, had an opportunity to make a big play, but Toxic just in the right place, keeping him out of there. Nice stuff from Synergy. Not only does that give them 1,000 gold lead right here, but they're going to get 500 more for this tower, most likely. I like this move. This is Synergy wrestling back into position.
Well, they're going to go ahead and drop this tier 1 tower of the duo lane. That will fall down. 500 more gold. All tier 1s now off the table for Rice Baby. And this opens up the map for Synergy. And that's a big thing they didn't have last game, is an open map opportunity for them. The more towers you take off, the more kind of around where you don't have to worry about a random gank coming through. Mid lane tower is usually the one big one, but dropping all of these ones is going to make it a little bit nicer for you.
Getting that Gold Fury Synergy, they have solidified a lead. They're 3,000 gold up. Let's talk how they did that. 2 wards, 100 gold spent, brought Synergy back into this game. Now, Rice Baby will probably get this tier 1. I want to see Synergy just back off here. But the ward by the enemy speed buff and the ward in the middle lane, Quantum was destroying Synergy. They put 2 wards here, and they know where he is at this point, and they're able to make the plays that they've made because they know where, and more importantly, where not the Susano player is. And so they have more freedom of movement. They have more freedom of choice. Their decision-making was banked off the fact that they know exactly where this Mamma Jamma is. And they're able to do whatever the hell they want. And that resulted in a team fight, 2 objectives, and now a 2,000 gold lead.
And that's the big one there, is having that ward in the mid lane. It always kind of seemed a little silly at first when you saw a random ward just kind of in the mid lane. Hold that thought. Tier 2 tower being aggressed on here, but the Veristar left all alone. He's going to leap away. Big bomb stun from Tachi. That's going to be good. Up onto the tree goes Reapers and down onto the server. He's going to pick up 1, but that's too far for him. Quantum's going to turn the fight into their favor. The Typhoon going to knock up Magix. Saros going to be able to get back to the safety of his team for the time. Ghost Seeker's trying to get to them, but he gets turned on himself, and Sarah finds him.
Oh, Hercules up north just botches the engagement. Missed ultimate and missed driving strike. Oh, that hurts because the Cerberus was dead. Oh, that one's rough. Hercules comes up empty-handed. Synergy still trying to push.
Good stun there from Tachi. That stun was big, but it doesn't matter. Sarah's able to find U-Tax. Tachi dashing, using his beats. Knock up, gonna be able to help get Sarah in there. Make that a big, quick 3 for Sarah's triple kill for the mid lane of Synergy.
Hot damn. Last game, I said I want this guy to be more aggressive. This guy is not as bad. You can tell. This guy isn't as bad as his game number 1, and you can tell he had moments of greatness. 7, 1, and 3. Just that play, the triple kill there was Saros saying to himself, look, I was a little bit of a wiener in game 1. This time, I'm on my Vin Diesel. And he just goes all the way deep, chases past the tower. That's how you make a gameplay. That's how you do it. Just, oh, that feels so good. I love when players are able to bounce back like that. That's dope. I love that.
He went from being in Weenie Hut Jr. to going to the salty Splatoon with this match. He turned it up. See, he was just playing the wrong kind of fire god here. He went from playing just a normal god of fire, Agni, ooh, fire, it's burning hot. Now he's playing the sun itself, burning even hotter than he was in game number 1. Synergy really looking strong in this second match.
Yeah, and I like the itemization choice coming out from Reaper as well. after you finish your Heartseeker Jotun's Wrath, I like Jotun's Wrath. I feel like it's a forgotten item in the world of Crusher. But after you finish your Jotun's Wrath, this is kind of where you're sitting and you go, all right, what kind of game am I having? What kind of game are they having? Do I have to go Magi's? Am I getting taunted every turn? Do I have to go defend? No, I'm actually winning. And because of, not only is he winning, but that last engagement gave him a lot of what I call bonus gold, just a sudden influx, like you drew a chance card. He's able to go Transcendence. Love this play. Reaper has been looking for some of these solo kills. Transcendence is going to help him out with that.
It's going to give him that big power spike that he really wants. It's going to take him a little bit to stack that up, but that's not a big deal. He's going to get a lot of it just off of the base of that item alone. With that, Pyramids are down. Fire Giant is the big target, but you can see there's a big old red ward going to be taken away now by Synergy. Map control has been their biggest factor in this game. We saw it with the speed buff in mid lane earlier. Now we're seeing it here on this right side by Fire Giant.
I mean, everybody knows to say wards win wars, but quite literally, Synergy has found vision. This is entirely off of buying wards. Like, I think that we're looking at Reaper with 9 wards placed. I love when a jungler is heavily active in the vision placement of the team strategy. The jungler is the most active person on the map. So I love to see heavy wards placed by the jungler.
I mean, everybody on Synergy is doing their part in the ward department. No less than 5 wards placed by a single person on that team. Where over onto the flip side, it's not so looking hot for Reaper Souls. He's barely going to get up into that tree. The Supernova down in place. Sarah not going to be able to find anybody to kill off of that. He's going to fly away. The push on to Sero by Utax. He's continuing to chase down. Tachi wants it. He's going to drop a bomb. Turns around with the...
Oh, the Aegis still
is around? Sarah's just turned that around in the 2-for-1. Might be able to pull a second one out, and he does.
Oh, my
Sarah's
goodness.
with the Bancroft's Talon. Are you serious? Is he going to get a third one coming through?
He's just able to sit out here. The stun is good. Here comes the doggo trying to jump in. Grits, the lifesteal. Saros number 9 coming through. There's the kill.
10.
A doubleoon and a kill after the fact. Soul on fire. No pun intended, but the gameplay intended. Kill number 17 for Synergy. And hot damn, what a bounce back for Saros.
Saros really is shown bright in this matchup here. We're going to keep making as many fire and sun puns as we can. I can already see it. We're going to be saying it all game long. But the biggest fire of them all, the Fire Giant El Gigante de Fuego, dropping very fast. The Synergy here at the 22-minute mark. That's going to go down, and this game is now heavily swinging for Synergy.
Yeah, I mean, this was, you know, especially with the way game number, I think a lot of people were sitting in chat just going, oh man, what did we sign up for? But this is exactly, and you know, I'm very excited as well, because I think this is one of the harder things to do in competitive Smite, is to not get in your own head. You got to have a quarterback's memory, as we say here in North America. When you, like, let's be real, Synergy got absolutely destroyed game 1. Saros was a bad player, and here he is cleaning things up. Ghost Seeker's gonna fall, but this is the complete opposite of what we saw game number 1, and I got to give a ton of credit for Synergy for it.
That was a big old crit coming out of Toxic. Has that Poison Star online now, and with those explosive bolts for those 3 those 3 autos, he's gonna have 45% chance of critting. We saw a big old 417. Star is going to jump into the middle of 3. And then the bomb stun by Tachi onto 2. All 3 bombs expended. The ult through from Averstar is going to throw 4 back. Reapers is going to be able to get up onto the tree and out of danger. Toxic able to jump away, but look at Saras and Magic. They're just sitting here throwing damage at all 3 of them, not wavering an inch.
Synergy right now, I'm happy that they're backing off. Again, big old lead, 8K or so. And they got to be a little bit careful. I like how they started pushing things, and somebody made a call. I saw it. Somebody made a call that said, "Guys, calm down." A lot of times when you're watching the less experienced team, dude, you're 10-1-4. It's very easy to just go, "Nah, I'm gonna kill the world. Watch me." But you still can get beat up by 5 players on the enemy team, no matter what level you are.
It looked like that was a call from either Magix or Haugen for them to get out of that, because when those bomb stuns came over the wall, the first one hit, no big deal. We're kind of fine with But when number 2 and 3 landed onto the support and put Magic at critical HP, Ghost Seeker has to get onto the horse and fly away himself. Vivera's the team and Synergy pushing up.
That's a big play to chase out the Hachiman's ult. Not only is it great for initiation, but Hachiman's ultimate allows Rice Baby to overstay in some scenarios that they might get in trouble for otherwise. Right to the sky.
Reaper's just looking for something. He's looking for someone. He knows the ult is down on the Ghost. He's going to drop down into the middle of all of them and not find anybody while Sarah's trying to defend a tier 2 alone and make that 10 in a row now for Sarah. He got the Divine earlier at that red, but now with 11 kills of his own and pushing forward, maybe looking for a 12th one. Ghost Seekers has that mobility, gets himself out of the Supernova, back to the fountain, but Synergy are continuing to push on the gas pedal.
There's the push from the back lane. Toxic goes left, goes back, gets Wadham, and puts him in the ground. Right side, Phoenix is going to fall down. Tachi with a nice opportunity, but not able to convert. Rice Baby playing good D, and the call from Synergy. Tier 2 tower in the mid lane. Great shot calling.
Good call here just to for now. Pushing up that wave. Bomb comes through. Not really going to find anybody, and Sarah's might want to be a little careful here. He's going to have the Nene Kappa thrown at him, but he's just going to lifesteal off of it. The Veristar jumps into the middle, pops the curse on. Damage is good onto Haugen into Magix, but it's too good against the Veristar. He's going to fall Toxic Tempest with the big old crits coming through. Haugen almost gets taken down by the Kappa.
Chase this. Great call from Rice Baby. Tachi going to get punished, unfortunately, and that's because they split up. Synergy with another kill there with Reaper falling down. Rice punished, but punished poorly. So Synergy came through and punished the punish. I really like that interaction between these two teams.
They got the one, and I think that's what Rice needs to do with. They got Saras. They got their biggest problem out of the way, get him and leave. But they stayed just a little too long. Toxic never really strayed away from the remainder of his team. Always sat there in the side at the jungle, was able to come back in and turn that around, making it a 3-for-1 for their mid laner.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just... right now, the biggest thing that I can see is Cerberus. Cerberus has to dial it back. 0-4-3, and this is kind of tough when you play tanky character. He was super tanky and unkillable in game number 1. Game number 2, it's a whole different beast. And so he's coming through, jumping in the middle of 5 by himself, and he's not able to survive. I think after that last death on the tier 2 tower, he has to internalize that, react, and make the conscious decision to play differently because he's just getting smoked.
Fire Giant is now respawned onto the right side of the map, and Haugen is the first one onto the scene. You can see the ward difference between these two teams. 4 sentries and 3 regular wards from Synergy, and that's just because Haugen hasn't gone back to buy anymore. Where you only see 1 sentry and 3 normal wards from Rice. This is ward advantage for Synergy. And this is what happens when you're 15,000 gold ahead of your opponents.
Here comes Vera. Trying to push up. This is Synergy. Oh, I don't like the blown ult from Saros.
Not a big fan of that one. Big ult coming through from Vera. He's only going to be able to throw Haugen back. The bomb comes down onto it. He's going to push through. It's going to be a good pick for them, but Toxic is going to turn around. That's going to be the support for the solo. The Typhoon burn onto nobody from Wadham, and Reaper going to try and solo out Tachi. The dot coming through from... going to be good enough, and Toxic's going to pick up UTAX. Ghost Seekers running away on the horse as much as he can, and that's a perfect call from Synergy. They got the ultimate. They got everything they needed to from Rice. Ball back, get the Fire Giant.
That's the best, man. That was really unfortunate to watch for Rice Baby, because that was the best sort of opportunity that they were going to get. Synergy are 15,000 gold, right? I mean, there's really not much you can kind of expect from these guys. 16-6 after the Fire Giant. Rice needed to understand that they had to sort of kill Herc and get the F out, but they overstayed their welcome. Experience will fix that. They knew that they had a team fight, and they knew that they could take it in the beginning, but just numbers, this is a MOBA. They just have bigger numbers than you, so get the kill and run away. Synergy won it with the Fire Giant. That was going to happen anyway, so no big deal there. Rice Baby need to kind of hope for a miracle to win.
Reaper almost caught Ghost Seekers out there on his own. Burned the blink to try and get to him, but was not able to stop the back there. That could have been a kill. But for now, he's going to get back to base. Blink burned through. Teleport is down for Howden, just getting himself back into the fray of the fight. Right side, Phoenix has respawned. And the whole team is kind of split up here. I kind of want to see them group up together and try and push down one of these Phoenixes. There's 3, now 4 in mid with Reaper joining, and Howden just keeping one busy. Reaper going to be the first one to go through. He's getting burned alive up onto the tree, not fast enough. Ghost Seeker going to get him.
I like the 4-1 split, but not when you're not on the same page. And again, the Veristar just gets blown up. Hercules with the big boy damage. Great shell, not good enough. Tachi comes down, takes care of Soul. The crits are good, and TT winds up taking down Tachi.
They burned 2 shells to try and keep Saros alive, but it just wasn't enough. Tachi and Ghost Seeker teaming up to drop down the mid laner and the jungler, who initiated kind of on his own. I don't think that Reapers needed to be the one to initiate under that Phoenix. I think it really needed to be Magix or Howden in that instance, but they trade out 2 for 2. They don't lose too much onto it. In fact, they're going to get a Gold Fury, which really isn't going to do all that much for him right now, aside from...
It's not going to be able to have opportunity. Athena's got a potion. So Synergy right now just, cleaning up things that they can. Rice, baby. Playing decent D. Let's push there, JMac. I'm with you. I didn't like when they were all spread, but I did like the 4-1 split push.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Usually the 4-1 push winds up with the assassin as the lone player, trying to take away the enemy's one-shot potential. But instead we had Hercules over there. Job. And again, that was a fine play. Synergy's jungler just walked up way too far. If Synergy pushed forward at midfield, win the fight and possibly the game. But Reaper goes off by himself, doesn't phone home, and that's a big issue for everybody involved. Reaper falls, everybody else does like dominoes.
And really what that 4-1 was everybody but the solo in mid lane, and the solo lane their own island of a lane and doing their own thing there. And I do agree with you. I think that anybody but Reaper and Saros getting picked into the mid, but Toxic, he's going to turn it around onto his own, dropping the airstrike on, needs to get the one more shot onto Hanum. He's not going to have the beads to expend to get out of this one, and Ghost Seeker teaming up with Utax. They're going to get one, but Reaper finds Quantum in the back all alone. 2 for 2 one more time. It's just been trades between these two teams. Rice has yet to be able to get an advantage in the fights.
Yeah, now Rice kind of have the advantage with the enemy hunter down. This is where Ghost Seeker needs to shine. He's a hunter with a wind demon and 2/3 of another crit item, likely to be a Deathbringer. I need to see Ghost Seeker just push this right now. The 2 carries on the side of Synergy are toast. You're a hunter in the late game. Be a hunter in the late game. Go shoot something and get a crit and win the team fight for your squad. This is where Rice get back into the game.
Press W and left click. That is your job as a hunter late game here. And I'm looking over at the damage charts, and they're pretty much dead even in this aspect. You're really starting to see it come out at this later stage. But again, Saros, it's the flip this time. Instead of Tachi being the top of the board, it's now Saros at the top of the board with Tachi right below him. But that's still a 9,000 damage disparity. And now, Oscar Reaper trying to find a solo kill on the Ghost Seeker, and he will be able to grab him through there. The Athena ult expended just to give him that extra protection.
Yeah, Ghost Seeker needs to be the hunter and go shoot somebody, crit them in the face with his team. It's 32.
That's the big one.
Yeah, it's 32, 33 minutes in the game. You cannot be by yourself, whether you're a hunter or a level 16 Cerberus. Saros 9 just getting another kill here. 12, 4, and 11 for the mid lane Soul. I mean, what do you do there, Butto?
Just gotta wait for the opportunity. He went in a little too early there. The Veristar wanted to stop this Fire Giant push, but he jumped in before the Fire Giant was even there. Now that it's spawned through, it's going to drop down very quickly to Synergy. That's going to be their 3rd one of the game. And now pushing all the way onto this right-hand side. This is the group up I want to see. That right Phoenix has already been weakened. Drop it down, then regroup and head towards the mid lane.
Rice baby now playing defense. Synergy here. I love the attack speed. No Witchblades on the other side. Definitely would have liked to see a Witchblade because there's 2 basic attack characters. There's the mid laner and there's the hunter.
Well, we're going to try and go in onto this one. Phoenix at half. holding themselves back for the time being. Reaper is up onto the tree, looking for somebody. Gonna try and go onto Ghost, but Deos is gonna jump away. Juanum's gonna yank Reaper back. And into the middle of everything goes Veristar. He's gonna throw 2 back to Boulder. Sarah dropping down the ultimate into the Saffron. Toxic. He's gonna find the first spill of the initiation. Tachi taunted into the middle, and Toxic, he's gonna find the double kill of his own. Throwing that in hands onto Utax. Shell Thorns is gonna make sure that he stops it right there.
Tachi with a big mistake there. Can't be dashing in 34 minutes in. He blows the dash and he almost kills the jungler. Well, nobody cares because almost doesn't actually get the kill. And then what happens is he's up all the way in the enemy team without the ability to dash out of there, gets collapsed on. You're playing the Agni in the late game. Your job is to provide dedicated DPS over time. And instead he winds up pushing himself in the middle. Just, oh man, too aggressive.
Well, they're going to go right in. Magic's going to taunt Utax. He's going to get knocked up. Everybody backing away because now they're taking a little bit too much damage. Utax has to back off himself, charging away. Huadam's going to throw the jet stream into the middle of Magic's and Toxic, but not going to dash into it. Phoenix is going to fall, but they're going to trade it out for Saros 9.
No problem there. Saros and Hercules. Howden?
Left side.
Great job.
That's two of them for Saros. He is more than happy getting that one. Big Phoenix trade there. Reaper able to take it under the nose of a Veristar. 2 Phoenixes now down. Only the mid one stands at 3/4 HP. Huadam trying to get Reapers, but Toxic's going to get Ghost Seeker all the while. Jetstream now on our Reapers. Huadam will trade that one out. Don't know if it's quite as worth now, but they were able to get Ghost Seekers through that as well.
Yeah, Reaper kind of overstaying his welcome there, but Saros and Haujin just beautiful on this right side. Hercules taking the tower, and Saros, the way he was like bobbing and weaving to make sure his basic attacks hit the Phoenix and not the players. Really great objective focus. He probably could have killed somebody, but if he kills somebody, he likely trades out and they don't get the win and they don't get the Phoenix. They just die with a cool kill. Really smart play from Saros 9, and I like the selflessness there, kind of giving himself up.
So we talked a lot about Saros 9 in the early and mid part of the game, where he was at 11 kills and 1 death at one point. Now he's 12 and 5. Now it's kind of shifted over to Toxic being the late game that they need, doing the late game hunter things, hitting left click. And if we go back over to damage, it's kind of skewed itself a little bit closer now. You can see that Toxic has kind of closed that player damage gap up. Saros has been the prime focus of Rice, but maybe now it's time to take a look ahead.
Yeah, that's I'm kind of there as well. You got to look at Toxic, and I like what he does here. He buys the 500 power potion, or the however much gold it is. He buys the cheap power potion, and then the elixir of defense is the direction he goes. He realizes that he's got a Deathbringer and a Wind Demon. He's cutting people down very easily. Titan's main itemization, not so bad because you see a lot of physical protection on the other side. He's killing people easily as is. A term we use in Magic is clock. Is this upgrade going to, I kill you in 4 turns. If I do this, will I kill you in less? Toxic Tempest is looking at that and going, if I get more power, my clock is not increasing. But if I get more defense, I'll just die less, and I'll do more DPS while I'm alive than I'm dead.
Reaper is able to save his Magi's Blessing there, and now Haujin's going to jump up through. He's going to pick up Tachi. Tachi's going to have to dash himself away back to the team. Haujin's sitting at well under half HP, able to try and get back to the fray of his team here. Magic dashes in.
Tempest.
Not going to find anybody on top. Big ultimate, big stun out of Tachi is going to get 3. Magic's thrown back into the middle of all of it. Quantum is going to find Saros in the back. That's going to be 1-for-1. Mid lane's trading out, but Haujin keeping himself alive. Reapers trying to get the return onto Haujin. Everybody is so low. The Kappa's chasing Haujin. Reapers and Magic are trying to find something. Huadin looks like he's going to be able to finally get back through. Only 2 deaths in all of that engagement, and it's a 1-1 for mid lane.
Man, back and forth. I don't mind Reaper chasing that kill because he is highly mobile. It's not that big a deal to me. Again, guess what happened there for Rice Baby?
What happened?
The Agni dashed in. The Agni dashed in. And so it's interesting. Like, that's so, oh man, that's so rough, because that's the moment that you sit there and when you do high level anything, a lot of times you're breaking the rules of the fundamentals of the game, right? Like, you don't dash as an Agni.
Right.
But if you have the opportunity to get a double kill, you dash as an Agni. He had that. He saw that. That's why he broke the rule. But they had actives. Aegis goes up. He does no damage, and he gets collapsed on by the jungler. It's really deceptive. It's really deceptive. Experience will show him the right way. I like that he identified that was a potential kill with the dash forward, but he needs to curl that back and break the rule when necessary.
Oh, Wada may have gotten caught out here trying to back at the red buff. He's going to dash through Reaper up onto the tree. Once he get the chase down onto him, will he be able to find him? He will. Reaper going to get out one, and that's a big one for them. That's now a massive ultimate off the table for Rice on this defense.
The left side Phoenix and right side Phoenix have respawned. Below half damage, half power. It's all et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Synergy, gazillion gold in the lead. That's the technical term, by the way. 25-5. Yeah, just push. Just pick one. I don't like the split here. 1, 3, and 1. This is not the strat I like.
Well, only going to be Tachi here to defend the mid, and Viverstar is going to have to jump in, pops the Ankh, and the Sinjin Torment as well, but it's only going to grab Magic. The damage onto the mid Phoenix is not enough, and now Ghost Seekers is here. He's going to find Saros all alone. Toxic now trying to run away because Utex trying to find something with him. He's going to throw a Kappa, but it's not going to be enough. Left side Phoenix will fall. Tachi not able to get there in time to save him. Magix and Haujin playing perfect tanks, perfect defense here in the mid lane to keep Toxic alive.
I'm actually going to the 1-3-1 split because the fact that the side Phoenixes were weakened. Knowing that, I actually really like that play. I think that's what opened up the mid lane push, but Hercules kind of dropped the ball there. Haujin, if he stays on the right side, I know somebody made the rotation, but if he stays on the right side, he's able to just sit there under tower and be a nuisance and a threat, and he's not going to kill a Phoenix, but he's going to demand somebody's attention. And that's all you're trying to do there. We know you ain't no attack speed Hercules, my friend, but just taking eyes away from what's happening was very important. Synergy able to get the left side of Phoenix, all well and good for making a great job there, but could have been better.
Quantum's going to take a bit. The boulder has been expended. Quantum's going to take a little bit of damage from that one. Haujin and Toxic now moving forward. Toxic getting those big crits onto him. Quantum, he's going to help drop him down. Ghost Seeker's turn, and Toxic will be the first one to fall. The Hunter for Synergy now down for the count for 64 seconds.
Oof. Just a big old oof right there. Saros not in this one. Synergy could have cleaned this up a long time ago, but just unable to really find the way to close it. The way to close it is to collapse and group. Rice Baby are getting spread, and Synergy are going to make good use of that.
They're trying to chase too hard, and Saros is going to pay for it. Nobody was protecting their mid laner. Everybody was focused on trying to kill Quantum. It's a Susano. You're not going to catch this guy if you've already burned the ultimate, and they lose 3 because of it. Synergy, you got to take a step back and maybe think, I don't think we need to chase this one all the way.
Yeah, I think that definitely could have been thought out a little bit more. Instead, comes up short there. A little bit rough. Things are balancing out now, and this is kind of bad for Synergy. They should have won this game, frankly, 20 minutes ago. That's pushing it, maybe 15. But now that they've been able to sort of stall this one out, they being Rice, the game, even rough.
Haujin gonna eat the Soul Reaver damage from Tachi as that right side tier 1 falls, and now the tier 2 as well. The boulder thrown out, and it's gonna do just a little bit of damage, but nothing that's really gonna bother Rice as they're just there for the tower, and nothing more, nothing less. They're gonna grab that, head back, and really at this point, I mean, gold experience doesn't matter. Everybody's level 20, everybody's full build. It's just, do you want to switch an item up? Yes, no, maybe so. Here we can see it's the crit build from both of the Hunters here, but the only one building really any kind of anti-attack has been Utax here. Midgardian, Male, and these Thorns, really the big answer to Saros and Toxic.
And this is a really big deal because it has changed dramatically over the course of the game. So Kustenbell from behind is pretty not so good because he winds up, he needs to get punched in the face. He's a counter puncher. But if you can't take the initial punch, well, you can't punch back. And so Utax was suffering this entire game because return damage doesn't do anything if you can't take it in the first place. Now, even tanky, the return damage is a really big deal, and it could change things for Toxic.
Reaper gonna drop down off the tree, but not gonna find anybody. And the taunt from Magic is off to Mark II. Vivisar gonna go through. He's only gonna pick up Haujin. He's gonna get thrown to the middle and burst it down. Ghost Seeker gonna crit him out very quick. Reaper's now standing into the back as Utax is up onto the fray. Ghost Seeker's gonna be knocked up. He's gonna continue pushing forward. Toxic gets stunned down. Toxic gets dropped. Ghost Seekers with another kill for the team. 2 for 0 now for Rice, making it look like a third. Magix will be able to dash out, but Quantum with the big pull in is gonna help drop 2 more.
Ghost Seeker. Love this play coming out from this Hachi, man, and it's really funny because this conversation came up about the Hunter builds going on here for Hachi, and I'm happy I get to address it because I actually really like this build. Hachi is a hybrid character, so he's a basic attack-oriented character in theory, right? I mean, he has also attack speed, but he also just hit Heavenly Banner, hits you like a truck. That's a really big deal. And tossing that random crusher in there has allowed Hachiman to be safe. What happens is we're watching Ghost Seeker push up, get crits, and then back off when he gets low and toss the banner out. And it's doing big damage. They're going for the Titan?
This is 5. There's 5 of them in. It's only Reaper to try and stop this Titan. It's at half HP. The Typhoon is good. The Titan is going to fall. And Rice, baby, on the back foot the entire game up until the last 10 minutes with 1 near wipe, 1 fire giant. They bring it back and take the win at almost 46 minutes.
Season 5 in a nutshell. There's 2 reasons that I absolutely love Season 5. It is essentially the openness. You can pick anything you want. And also the ability to come back. This was great defense coming out from the red team. Their ability to stall on their Phoenixes and even the wherewithal to be aggressive in times of dire badness, I speak for a living, it's fine, has been really, really, really nice. They stalled the game out till 30,000 gold lead didn't matter. And it was a tie game from there, baby.
I mean, that's anymore. Your experience and your gold, it's nothing once you hit that 35, 36 minute mark. Everybody is essentially evened out there aside from maybe a portion of an item. The MVP screen is up for you guys to vote. Vote who you think was the big one for that game. If this was going Synergy's way, I really don't know who I could give this one to because all of them were playing so well. But Rice, baby, with that victory, who are you looking at for MVP onto this one? Because I'm kind of looking between Ghost Seekers and Huadam here because those 2 late game did so much for their team.
I'm looking at Ghost Seekers mainly. Even when they lost the engagements, and this is really important, is understanding how to lose without losing too much. So specifically that mid lane fight around 32 minutes, I think it was, where Tachi dashed forward and died for it. So Ghost Seeker sees his Agni dash forward and identifies the double kill opportunity, which Agni gets smoked out for. But Ghost Seeker intentionally pushes up, and I think he even dies there, JMac. But his identification of, we are going to lose the fight because my homie dashed forward, his identification of, I still need to make some sort of impact because if there's 5 alive, we lose. He goes in Harikari style and just gets 2 before he drops. Very important team fight, and his understanding of we're going to lose, but we're going to take them with us is arguably what won the damn game for RRB. Really nice. I
really think the big moment for RRB here for Rice was when they realized that Synergy, they see this big gold lead, this big massive number lead of, hey man, we're so far ahead that they're seeing red the entire game. Beyond, I'd say, the 25-minute mark, it's all, can we get this kill? Can we get this kill? Chase this down. Quantum recognizes this and consistently puts himself in a position to where they can chase him down. And Ghost Seekers capitalizes off of this consistently, picking 1, maybe 2 of them own. And with that being said, Ghost Seeker is going to be your MVP for this game.
0 wards, homie. Fix it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, hold on. Can we revoke that MVP status here? My man plays 0 wards. Utax plays 2. Quantum 4. Guys, wards win. Okay, wards can win wards, but you got to place one yourself. Just one Ghost Seekers. Just one.
What's funny is that Synergy got this early lead. Like, they were leading by 25 at some point, right? They got this early lead off of 2 ward placements by Reaper. He put the ward by the speed buff, and we were talking about how genius that was. They knew where Quantum was, and honestly, those 2 wards kept the jungle in check for 20 minutes. And Ghost Seeker's over here like, nah dog, I'm a left click. I got it, bruh. I guess you know what it was? You don't need much vision when Tachi and Viverstar are walking into the entire team. You know where everybody's at because they're killing your support and your mid laner. So maybe I take that back.
I like how you threw Tachi into that one because all game we talked about his aggressive dashing as an Agni in here, and it's how it can be a detriment to your team. And at one point almost was for them. But again, Ghost Seekers recognizing that I'm probably going to lose Tachi in this fight. Yeah. This man is just seeing, I got to go in. I got to run right into him. And Ghost Seekers said, all right, Tachi, you do your thing. I'm going to help clean up after you. So Rice Baby with the 2-0 over Synergy. I really, I have to say, though, Synergy, they really bounced back after game 1, especially Saros and Reapers, when they had this very troublesome start to game number 1, especially Saros taking that early spill. They really came back strong this game, especially Saros.
Yeah, that was really, really impressive stuff from Saros. Just honestly, impressive stuff from Synergy in general. Being able to, I said it before, one of the harder things to do here, one of the harder things to do in competitive Smite is to have a terrible game and bounce back. As a team and as an individual are 2 separate terrible things to deal with. And sorry, Saros, that game number 1 as a team and as an individual were terrible. But the ability to bounce back the way that you did, despite the loss, I think is more telling as a player, especially what we touched on before was that, like, you know, these guys aren't used to playing in front of a crowd. There's definitely jitters. Being able to not get in your own head about losing in front of a crowd, that's just really good stuff. That's the mark of a competitor. So I'm excited for these Synergy guys.
Synergy, you may not have won the game, but you definitely have won my hearts in that matchup. That was a fantastic game between both of these 2 teams. And you can see why this quarterfinals matchup and why just a league like this in general is so competitive, because you can have games this close. Even it doesn't matter if you're a Grandmasters team or a Bronze team. When you have teams so competitively close to each other in this league environment, you can bring out some of the best matches you will ever see in the Smite community. These guys played lights out. Rice Baby moving forward into the semifinals. And if they can win that, there's potential for them in the grand finals tomorrow. That's going to do it for us here tonight on to the Smite Little League. JMacTucker here along with F. joining me for the cast of the North American side of this quarterfinals. We will be back tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for us here in North America on this side of the world. And for the people over in Europe, it will be at 6 p.m. CEST with the European Grand Finals. That will be cast by, I believe, Illy and Supersonic Blur taking over that. And F. and I will be back tomorrow night for the North American Grand Finals at 6 p.m. Eastern. Everybody have a great night, and we will see you all back tomorrow.